So hello guys, and it's been actually a while since I've done a Warframe video, and I thought I would actually start revisiting my older content and actually trying to revamp it and actually make it a bit more helpful.
Operator, are
A
you
lot of things has
enjoying the
changed
view?
since the last time I actually made a Warframe video, and that video was based on, what was it? Oh, it was just a small teaser of me just saying, "Wow, Clapty, good job." I haven't made an update after the planes came out, and there's a lot of content that actually is there. Um, I was also supposed to record raids and stuff like that, but that ended up in a stream instead. But welcome to my Lisette. With the new update, people can visit your Lisette, but that's not the main point of the video. The video is going to be looking more at the concept of modding and how should one mod. So the first things that one has to understand is that while you're completing missions and everything in the orbiter, you will get certain drops from enemies which are called mods, so you can then start growing your mod collection. So for example, you might come across certain mods like Seeking Fury or Tactical Pump. Each of these cards or mods, as D likes to call them, give you various effects. Let's say Tactical Pump increases reload speed, but there has, as if you can look like at the bottom where there's like 5 little small circles, that's the amount of levels. So let's say Tactical Pump starts off with plus 5% reload. As you level up the mods, which can be done from your foundry, or is it, yeah, from this part over here. So let's say starting speed has 3, so let's pick one starting speed off just for educational purposes. And if you level it up, you can see on the left hand side that the reload speed has gone up twice, the status chance as well. Do it a third time, 3 times, fourth time, 4 times. That's how it goes. And then you can apply the fusion. To rank mods up, you will require endo. So this video is going to be a more in-depth look at mods and everything else. So if you are a new player or even a vet and you didn't know certain stuff, you might get some useful tips from this video. Do remember, while modding you do require credits. It used to be just fusion shards and credits, but no one has fusion cores anymore. Do I have a fusion core? No, I do not have a fusion core. That's kind of odd. But anyway, the more ranks a mod has, the more expensive it is. For example, Serration is a, how many levels mod does this thing have? Let's go to the max. It has rank 10 ranks. So at rank 9, the costs are 10,000 and almost 500,000 credits. If you go one up, that doubles. So I would say that each time you do something, it just keeps doubling. Yeah, it just keeps doubling, honestly. 60, 140, 300, yeah, doubles, and then it adds a little bit more.
Did you
And that's
fix
how
your
you can make
mods,
your mod
operator?
stronger.
Did they
So now
error you
going
in some way?
into the whole process of modding and stuff, I want to actually use a, let's go for my default build. I should have 2 frost, don't I think I sold the other one because that was the free one. Let us pick a random we'll do a frame mod, a weapon mod, and also a melee mod. So let me just pick my Siren, I suppose. This is like an old frame that I used to play with quite a bit. I have Siren Prime now, so it's not, yeah, so it's fine. Okay, let's see. So this is how modding works. You'd usually have 30 capacity, and now it's with your mastery, so you get capacity. So for example, if you're MR 10, you'll have 10 starting, more capacity than you can actually use. Before that wasn't the case, but usually you have 30. If you install, let's say for a Warframe, you install an Orokin reactor, that will help increase that. Let's say if you have only 5 points, it'll become 10 points, and if you, depends on your Warframe's level, so yeah, that should work. I think that's how it should work. Then again, I can't really level up a frame at this stage. So let's say your Warframe's level 10, you would have 10 capacity, but because of the Orokin reactor, you have 20 capacity instead. So my frame is level 30, so 60 capacity, and you can increase your capacity very easily by an aura slot. So aura slots work in very different ways. Usually they are given from alerts, but you can also get certain aura slots from the Grove, so Titania's quest. So I'm not going to give any spoilers here, but I think when I do mention Titania's quest and getting those stupid um, orchid stuff and building them and then going and fighting those little mini bosses, I would say mini bosses that can one shot you no matter what gear you have sometimes, but it's annoying. So let's say for example I want to match the polarities. If I don't match the polarities, for example, I get less capacity. Aura slots will always give you capacity, they won't take away capacity. If I give for example a similar polarity, which is, this is in dash, I would call it a D polarity, it doubles it. So let's say for example instead of 7 I'm getting 14 more capacity, so that increases my capacity in a various way. Ew, disgusting. um then we can go into looking at how to actually mod the frame. Over here we have the XLS slot, so if you build an XLS slot you get another slot. This does not give you capacity but takes away capacity, so do not forget that. And then we have different ways to build the thing. So for example, with Saren, you're building for your fourth ability. It used to be the fourth ability, but you're building for certain stuff. So for example, I want more duration, so we can always look at more duration mods anyway. So for example, what do I have for duration at the moment? I have narrow-minded. Narrow-minded is a D polarity. I should put in the D polarity to maximize its, since it has a very high cost of 16, that would reduce it to 8. If I would put this on dash, it would actually increase the polarity to 20, so that I'm losing mod slots than actually gaining anything. And I'm not going to talk about min and max at the moment, because min and max becomes a very complicated theory, which I would actually cover in another, maybe possibly the next video, because min and max is you having various corrupted mods which you can get from the Orkin Vaults. Orkin Vaults are interesting missions because you at least need a squad of 4 with different keys. Do multiple runs and hope that you get the mods you want. Even I don't have enough spares to actually properly follow min and max because I'm just lazy to play the game at this stage. Not a nice thing to say, but it's there. So the next thing we're going to look at is modding my weapons. So for example, let's go with primary first. So I'm going to take with something a bit less. Okay, let's try the Kartak, which has been nerfed horribly that it's actually useless. Okay, all those mods are being used by my thing.
And make the Lotus proud.
Let's look for a. Let's try the Sybaris. I think I'll get rid of the weapon so I can actually mod properly. Let's try the Sybaris. So Sybaris as a weapon. Let's just get rid of all these mods because I haven't really formatted or anything to the Sybaris because it comes with 0 polarities. But looking at the Sybaris, it has 28.6 accuracy. This is how you start. Look at how you should mod your weapon. Crit chance 25%, which is pretty high. Crit multiplier of 2.0x. Fire rate of almost 4. Magazine 10. The noise is alarming, so you know that if you go in a spy mission and you start shooting people, it will alarm people. The reload takes 2 seconds. Status is 10%, and it's a type of burst. If you look at all the damages, impact, puncher, and slash, they're all the same. If, for example, the slash was greater, you would benefit more from putting a slash mod. So for example, you could put what was that mod's name? It's not Rhyme Rounds. Was it? Yeah, Fang Fuselage. If you put that, let's say for example, if I put that, it makes my slash become higher than the other stats, so there'll be more slash damage. So you can build this in various ways. So for example, you know that the crit chance is pretty good. The status is a bit low. Although it's a burst weapon, you might argue with that, but you should build it for status. But since this weapon is very good in terms of its different, let's say, like damage types of puncher, impact, and slash, you can build it towards any 3 of them. Or, for example, how elemental damage works is that it gives you a bit more. So compared to Fang Fuselage, elemental damage gives me more damage output of 63. But if I were to increase that, actually no, elemental damage would not stack with each other, would it? But you can increase your damage because elemental damage takes your overall damage into consideration. So for example, the overall damage 23.1 plus 23.1 plus 23.8, which would be almost 26, 40, 60, around 80 damage, and it took 90% of that, so it gives me more damage output. The other thing I could say is like there's different mods for certain stuff. With Appleite event going on, you have certain mods which trigger only if you do a specific thing. Let's say Argon Scope is on headshot, you get 135% crit chance. This is your overall crit chance. So if you have crit runes such as what's it, Vital Sense and Vital Sense, Hammer Shot. Don't I remember anything else? Vital Shot, Hammer rounds, and there should be another one that increases crit damage, wasn't it? Yeah. And that's speed, ammo drum. I did by ranks, so well, I don't have that mod. I should have all these mods anyway. Yeah, Vital Sense, Hammer Shot, and there was one more. This is crit damage, not Metal Auger, not Split Chamber, not that. Bladed rounds is crit damage. Let me just go into shotguns because I like shotguns a bit more than anything else. So let's try the Vapor Heck. Do I have 3 configs? No, I have formulated this quite a lot of times because I actually enjoyed using this weapon. So when you know we're trying to mod a weapon, always try to give it a polarity of the mod that's taking the most space. For example, for a shotgun, it would be V slots because these are always useful. Looking at these stats, 25% crit chance, status chance of 25 as well. You can build this either way, of crit or status weapon, but most people would say that you should always build towards a elemental build because it benefits you more. With the whole damage to the new rework of damage coming in for the different procs such as impact, puncture, and slash, I would wait before you farm stuff, although certain weapons are still going to be strong, although I kind of think the Tigress is going to fall down with the slash nerf that might be coming. So let's take a look at my other configurations for this weapon. So this configuration is a bit odd because it's looking towards more maximizing damage, because the Vapor Heck as a weapon has more puncher damage. So it has 341 puncher, almost 2000 of it's coming from that, but this is more of my crit build in a sense because I put laser sight on this. So basically on a headshot I get plus 120% crit chance. So 100% of 25 is 50, 20% of that would be almost like 65% crit chance. Plus I'm just trying to increase my overall damage, so the crit multiplier would do my overall damage. So my overall damage is 700 plus 6800 plus 900 plus 2874. Do note that for shotguns you would want to actually get shotgun to actually proc status, you would actually want to get 100%. So looking at Tigris Prime, always a good one. Having 100% status chance means every shot you fire is going to proc. Sometimes some weapons on paper do not say that they won't proc status, but they proc status like crazy in game. It's because I think of the fire rate of the weapon. Usually the higher the fire rate, the lower the status chance, because it can proc it. So getting a high enough status chance means that you will proc this quite a few times, so you don't have to worry about it. But Tigris Prime isn't a critical weapon, it's more for building for elemental, so using dual elemental mods and sweeping serration, because this thing is a slash monster. Seeking Fury just to get a punch and a little bit of reload speed, because the last thing you want is you're shooting a weapon, it doesn't, like, and all the enemies in a line, but you only kill the first one and not the second or the third one.
Be marked on navigation.
To those that don't know, I'm not going to say any spoilers with that Lotus thing coming in there. I did not expect that, to be honest. So always build towards different elements. So for example, fire and electric, if you put them in the same line, you will get radiation damage. Same as if you put cold and toxin in the same line, you will get viral. Viral is a very interesting proc because it reduces your enemy's life by up to half. Radiation means that they will shoot their allies. And gas is always good. Gas is a good element. So for pistols, you would have something called the Holy Trinity, which consists of a few mods. Actually, I don't even like the Viper Raid, although I just put these two as a joke, wasn't it? Yeah, I put them as a joke. So I'm just gonna take out a proper pistol. Let's take the Secret Prime. I'm actually farming at the moment, but I haven't completed it. But the Holy Trinity for any secondary is Hornet Strike for getting your 220% damage, Prime Pistol Gambit for that crit chance, Prime Target Tracker for crit damage, Lethal Torrent for the fire rate and multi-shot, Barrel Diffusion obviously for more multi-shot, so you get a total of up to 180% multi-shot, which basically doubles your damage, doubles your crit chance and status chance as well. Multi-shot means how many bullets come out of your gun. Let's say, for example, if you shoot one thing, multi-shot might make it into, okay, let's say 200, 180% would be almost 3 bullets per se. This is just my mental calculation, so it might not even be right. So for melee weapons and stuff like that, you build towards certain elements. You can either build the spin to win sort of setup, or you can build a sort of like sustainable setups. With mods such as Blood Rush means that you want to get your combo counter up. But for weapons, again, the same concept applies. You build towards the best of the three impacts. You build, if you want status, you can put status. So prime pressure point, prime reach, because I want to get that reach with an Atarax, obviously. Prime just to increase the damage. Drifting contact because it takes less than body count, and 10 seconds is quite a lot. Plus the extra status, 40% status chance makes a small difference for me anyway. Berserker because every time I do use Maiming Strike to get the crit proc, I will get faster, so it helps me with my stuff, and I can easily stack this up to 3 times. Organ Shatterer and True Steel just to increase that crit chance. So it's 40% crit chance, but I will do red crits after a few hits anyway, because double crits and everything else. But that covers the basics of modding, because I remember when I started this game, I did not understand how to mod, what was a mod, can I take a mod, like I've never modded anything. I was doing mastery tests, so my friends were just laughing at me. Just remember, there's some quintessential mods I would recommend as a starter to level up mods that will increase damage or output. So for frames, having streamline, intensify, flow, leveled up max is going to help you a lot. Vitality, if you want that survivability, or you have an Inaros, you need to have a max vitality just to increase your health pool and survivability. Same goes for Nidus. As well as for weapons, you want to have a maceration or point blank. Those are like, just max out your damage mods first. That's your first priority. If you're very late into the game, wait for Baroketeer to come, bring some primed mods, which are actually better versions of regular mods that have more levels and cost a bit more polarity, which are more useful for people. So for example, I have a primed flow and primed continuity and all of other primed stuff. But let's say, for example, the primed mods at the moment are like primed heated charge, which increases above 90%, goes to 165%. You have Prime Fever Strike that is almost the same. Prime Reach increases range even further. Prime Point Blank is always useful because you want more damage in your weapons without it falling off. Primed Flow is always a quintessential. If Baroketeer brings it, buy this mod, people. That you will literally thank me later on, because this is so useful for various frames. Prime Continuity as well, because it can offset the effects of certain corrupted mods. I think that's about it for the video. I think that should help people. If you do have a question, do leave it in the comments below. I am going to actually start making more Warframe content, hopefully, and I'm going to try my best to help you guys understand this game. A lot of content creators I've actually know of, such as Noob Showtech and all of that, don't really talk too much in depth about modding. If needed, I might make a part 2 of this video if required by people, because they have a similar question. But that's about it from me. I do hope that you enjoyed this episode. And honestly, I kind of feel that coming back into Warframe and stuff like that is always fun. Making content's always fun. Explaining certain stuff to help people who are new in the game as well. I kind of feel someone's going to say, hey, you're Scumbag Emperor. And I'm going to be like, get good. Just get good. If you can mod, you can make anything powerful. That's why Rivens exist. They can literally break that wall anyway. But thank you for watching again, and if you did like this video, do tune in for more content coming soon, yeah? Thank you again for watching.